Donovan Mitchell scored 31 points, 0 of them touched the rim. 24 shots, none at the basket. Last episode we covered Detroit's wall-up defense against Cleveland in Game 1. Two bigs holding the elbow line, the on-ball defender chasing every screen. Detroit won by it. Game 2, same scheme, one difference. Mitchell scored 31 points on 24 shots and not one of them reached the rim. The Pistons still won by 8 points. The chalkboard says they could have let him score 50. This is the story of a defense that turned a perennial all-star into a closed loop, and the role inside the role he played in his own loss. Let's start with the rim. A normal Donovan Mitchell game routes about a quarter of his shots to the basket, 25%. The drives, the cuts, the snake dribble finishes, the shots that bend a defense and earn free throws. Game 2, 24 field goal attempts, 0 at the rim, not low, 0. That is not a contested rim, that is a rim that was not on the menu. Detroit's wall-up scheme uses two bigs holding the elbow line. The on-ball defender chases over every screen. Weak side help shades hard toward the lane. Every drive ends at a wall before it gets to the basket. The defense did not have to leave a help responsibility to contest a single Mitchell shot at the rim. The wall closed the basket entirely. The funnel has a price. Mitchell stays out of the paint, which means no fouls drawn, no free throws, no defenders collapsing toward him. He scores from outside, from spots that do not break Detroit's structure. A perennial all-star whose normal game routes about a quarter of his attempts to the rim got 0. The defense did not contest the basket. The defense made the basket geographically inaccessible. And here is the wrinkle the headline hides. When the wall holds, the on-ball defender does not have to recover. He stays attached to Mitchell from the screen all the way through the pull-up. So the mid-range jumper Mitchell takes is not an open pull-up, it is a contested pull-up with a chasing defender's hand on the release. He hit 9 of 13 of them anyway, which is the next number and the bigger problem. This is where the funnel does its work. Detroit's wall-up does not give up the rim, it does not give up the open three, it gives up the 8 to 15-foot pull-up. The hardest shot in basketball to defend and the second hardest shot to make consistently. Mitchell made it. 9 of 13 from short mid-range, 69.2%. That is an elite mid-range night by any modern measure. The funnel says, we will let you have this shot, we will live with you making it, because every other shot in your normal game just disappeared. And here is the chalkboard's most important sentence. Short mid-range is a self-contained shot. It does not bend the defense. The big who walls Mitchell up does not have to rotate. The wing closing the screen does not have to recover. The corner shooter for Cleveland does not get an open kickout three off this play because there is nothing for the defense to over-rotate to. 69% on a shot that breaks no rotations is a closed loop. Mitchell scores, Cleveland's other 4 players do not. The mid-range funnel is the role Detroit assigned Donovan Mitchell. 9 of 13 on short pull-ups, 31 points on 24 shots, 0 rim attempts, and not a single one of those makes pulled a help defender out of position. The chalkboard's most expensive shot generated 0 downstream value for Cleveland's other 4 players. Then watch what happens above the break. Mitchell takes 9 threes, he hits 2, 22%. The reason the on-ball defender, anchored by the wall, never asked to rotate to help, runs the closeout from his original assignment. Mitchell's catch and shoots get a hand in his face every time. The wall holds the rim, the wall holds the closeout. 1 scheme, 2 erasures. Now look at the box score from 2 angles. A 31-point game from your number 1 option is supposed to drag the rest of your offense into open looks. Mitchell's 31 dragged nothing. The shots he was hitting did not move the defense. This is the structural cost of the role Detroit assigned. Cleveland's role players do not get cleaner looks because Mitchell hits a pull-up from 12 feet. The closest defender is already on Mitchell. The help defender is still in his original rotation. The chain that normally goes paint touch to defensive rotation to corner 3 is broken at link 1. In the fourth quarter, when Cleveland needed a possession that ended in a foul, an offensive rebound, or an open corner 3, Mitchell's role could not produce one. He could only produce the next pull-up. The pull-up went in. Detroit walled up the next one. Cleveland never broke the geometry of the defense. The steel man is Mitchell scored 31. The offense was working. The chalkboard says the points were a closed loop. The offense was being scored on by its own scheme. Mitchell scored 31. His teammates did not get cleaner looks because of it. The mid-range funnel converts at a high rate and breaks no rotations. Cleveland's role players were on their own. In the fourth quarter, when paint touches generate the wins, the funnel had no paint touches to give. And the cleanest tell on the chalkboard is the line that did not show up, the free throw line. A normal Mitchell night generates pressure at the rim that earns trips to the line. With 0 rim attempts, the funnel's invisible cost is a free throw drought. Bonus possessions Cleveland never got. Here is the verdict. Detroit's wall-up scheme is not a containment defense, it is a funnel defense. It funnels the best player on the other team into a role he can be elite inside while denying every downstream consequence of his elite play. The 31 points are the price the Pistons quote. The free throws Cleveland did not shoot, the kick-out threes Cleveland's role players did not see, and the rotations the wall did not have to make. Those are what Detroit kept. The bill went to Cleveland. The change went to the box score. The Steelman sounds reasonable. Mitchell shot 69% from the mid-range. That is a star, performing like a star. If he scores like that for the rest of the series, Cleveland's offense is fine and the defense will catch up. The cooling off question misreads the test. The test is not whether Mitchell makes shots. The test is whether the shots he makes generate a second possession-level consequence. A foul, a rotation, a kick-out, a rebound. None of his shots generated one. 69% of a shot that breaks no rotations is still 0 rotations broken. The math does not change with volume. The math only changes if the volume comes from inside the paint. Mitchell's volume came from outside it. Donovan Mitchell scored 31 points and Detroit won. That sentence is the entire scouting report. The Pistons did not stop the All-Star. They routed him. They handed him the most expensive shot in basketball, watched him hit it, and then watched the rest of his team have nothing to do because his hits did not move the defense. 3 doors, 1 funnel. Door 1, rim erasure, 0 attempts. The wall closed the basket entirely. Door 2, mid-range offer, 9 of 13. The funnel handed the star his best self-contained shot. Door 3, closeout anchor, 2 of 9 from 3. The on-ball defender stayed attached because help never had to rotate. Donovan Mitchell scored 31 points and Cleveland's offense never made it through any of them. Game 3 is in Cleveland. Same series, same scheme. The Cavaliers know exactly what Detroit is willing to give them. The question for Cleveland's coaching staff is simple. Do you tell your 31-point scorer to stop scoring? Or do you find 5 more players who can break the funnel for him? We will see whose chalkboard wins on the road. Next episode of Chalk Tactics, the league's best switch defense. Does anyone in the playoffs have an answer for it? Until then,